Good evening. It's the 8th of August, 2023. It's the ACT Committee meeting, 5:30 p.m. with myself, Nick Allen, Brian McGinnis, and Patrick McCoy. So this meeting has been called to order. Item number 2 is comments, suggestions, petitions by residents in attendance regarding items not on the agenda. Okay, great. Seeing none, we'll move on to our discussion item, which is to discuss the Borough of Westchester 225th celebration. Mr. Walsh, if you want to come on up.
Tom Walsh, Chair of the Westchester Historical Commission. Going back to when Michael Perrone was a borough manager, I raised the question of the 225th anniversary is coming up. Between then and now, nothing has happened. And as at this point, the borough has no celebration for next year. We had a great 200th anniversary. The 225th is an in-between, so it doesn't have to be as big as we space ourselves between 200 and 250. But right now, we have nothing. The item that I kept mentioning was somehow the Borough Council needs to let the people know the birthday is coming up. They would entertain the citizens and groups of Westchester coming together and give blessing to a nonprofit which would run the event. That way money goes in and out. I have recently tried one more time to hook up with John Featherman, who put together the corporation for the year 2000, or 1999, I guess I should say, and have been unable. Councilman Bernie Flynn and myself are going to try and do that. The Borough Historical Commission, we will do some little things, and we are working on some things. We are doing more work right now on 2005, the Lafayette. The document that I handed out to you, that was probably going back to 2019. And you will see on page 2, the Borough of Westchester 224th anniversary. So we could talk for a few minutes and see what direction you want to go. My ideal when I started talking about this was if the community nonprofit came together and was formed, then hopefully we might name former Mayor Clifford D. Baptiste as honorary chairperson, because he was chair or co-chair of the year 2000. And again, this corporation solicits money. It goes in, it doesn't go through the borough coffers as such. The borough could provide some seed money to get it started. But if you want to do anything officially as a borough next year, I would suggest that we try and explore that and with the community and see if we can get some people to come forward and maybe a lawyer put it together, and we do some things that you would like to see done. Otherwise, there will be some things done. We will probably have a proclamation from the county. I am working on a beer. I hope to work on a beer. And we will have some other events, but the school district could be involved, the Chamber of Commerce, BID, the university, the school district, the art center, all the churches, all the nonprofit organizations, community center, Rotary, and see, that's what happened back in the last one. They all came together under the umbrella of that organization. Right now, we have no umbrella, and you will need to, in the next month or two, tell the community, this is me speaking and no one else, I think that you would like to do something and you would encourage people to come forward. And we're hoping that a group of people could come together and form such a nonprofit with the blessing of you. Because HARB or Historical Commission or Parks and Recreation, we can't run events like that. This is a community organization type of thing if you want to have any type of celebration. And it doesn't have to be the biggest. And then the key is, if you will look on that list, I forget whether it's on the front page, but 2 years after that is the nation's 250th birthday. So you need to get started right now. What do you want to do for 250? And so we are willing to help. I'm sure HARB would be willing to help, Parks and Recreation, but we need the community. These are community celebrations. They're not necessarily particularly various commission celebrations. The community gets involved. There could be an ecumenical service. Churches at a particular time could have services. The school district could have an art contest. I mean, there are all kinds of things to bring in from the community. It is a community event. Therefore, we need a different structure. We need the idea to come from you, the total council, and the blessing of the total council. That is what I see right now, and I will answer any questions or comments that you might have.
Sure. Thank you. I appreciate that. Are there any questions or concerns?
Has anyone come forward wishing to sort of be the spearhead of this? An
No,
individual?
no, because there's been nothing from council indicating that we're having a birthday.
Any questions?
A little bit more about the 2000. That was a while ago, 1999.
1999.
So when you said it was big compared to.
Yeah, there was a booklet. It's too late to do a booklet, and you didn't need to do one anyhow. They had a big parade. You may have a small parade, maybe you don't do a parade, but there's still things we could do. And it could be the start, this organization, of the nation's birthday 2 years later. So again, you will be facing that in the future. You're facing 4 events. Next year is the borough's anniversary. The event after that is Lafayette's return to Westchester. I was with the History Center today. We were at the county courthouse courtroom number 1 in the historic courthouse. We are working with the county, the Historical Commission, to do some events in 2005 for Lafayette's return. The year after that is the nation's birthday, and the year after that is the Battle of Brandywine. And after the Battle of the Brandywine, part of the army of the British Army came right through Westchester, marched right up High Street on its way to the Immaculata and the Boot Tavern areas. So.
Great, thank you. And so in the past, has this been like a committee that council has formed, or are you using the word corporation?
You've got to say you want to do something and encourage the community to form something together. The chamber won't do it by itself. The school district won't do it. We can't do it. It's a community effort where everybody's got to come together. but somewhere along the line, you've got to say, you'd like to see something happening as a starter, and we will use that as the jumping off point for 2 years later on the nation's birthday.
Sure. I mean, I'm happy to do that. Are there any issues with that?
No, when's the exact date of the founding
Um,
Westchester?
The event can be all year. On page 2, Borough of Westchester, March 28th. The first Westchester is August 6th.
So is this something we want to move forward to next week and get everyone's temperature on?
Sure. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
So that's really what you need. And then see, that's the basis for doing something in a big event for the nation's birthday 2 years later. And it's always been done that way. When I was little, I guess the 49 there was a committee. The last one that we had, there was this big committee, and they're all pictured in the catalog or the history book that they published. And as I say, you don't have to be as big, but if you'd like to do some things and set the stage for the nations, then that would be the avenue to go at this point. Try to do some things and use it as a stepping stone for our nation's birthday. And then in between, we'd have Lafayette returning. And the year after the nation's birthday, we'd do a mini celebration with the British passing through Westchester. We'd remind people of that. And see, those events can be handled internally. We don't need a nonprofit.
Sure. Okay, great. I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think we can take that ahead next week. And yeah, I don't have any issues with doing that. I
And
think it
my
makes sense.
understanding is John Featherman handled the incorporation before. I have not heard back from the message I left last week, so I had not reported back to Bernie that we are going to get together. I will try one more situation with Matt Harvey to maybe get in touch with Featherman to see if he's available to talk and so on. But it's a nonprofit corporation that is put together. And so you're not mixing borough tax funds and donations and so on. And
Cool.
So
Yeah,
is
sounds
it
good
safe
to
to
know.
assume that the one from 1999 was dissolved, that not-for-profit?
I would assume it was dissolved. The mayor's here. Do you know if that was dissolved, the 1999 one, Mayor?
That is something I could ask my dad.
Okay, it was
But-
most likely dissolved because there's normally no reason to keep them. The borough may have thrown some seed money into that, the collections. They did their budget, they spent their money, and I would assume went out of existence.
Question, because when that was established, that was done by Charles Swope and Clifford D. Baptiste, and they appointed Jackie Van Grosky. She was chair of it, and there was a lot of subsequent committees underneath
They had
her.
all kinds of committees.
So my question to you, sir, is, I know this is high on your priority. Is this something you see yourself heading? So
No.
although you're pushing it, do you have any suggestions as a person of the community, of someone who would actually want to head this? Because that is part and parcel of the problem.
Yeah. We just have to get in touch with the community and see if they have interest in doing something historical on a smaller scale at this point.
But you're in touch with,
You don't have time for a bigger event,
right,
but we can do some events.
you're in touch with so many people in the community. You're pretty hands-on yourself. That's why I think you would Is that me? That's why I think you would be a natural chair for this.
We need sometimes the mover and shaker that come from the banking community, the legal community, the business community, education community, all working maybe together and putting it together. In fact, I didn't really work on the last one. I was on the Recreation Commission and did there. So you'll see my picture with the Recreation Commission. But Eric Wilson was involved and some other people. But
Yeah, I have the book and know a lot of the details. I will check on
a lot of those people that were involved are deceased.
Yes.
Eric's deceased. Jackie is gone. So that's what's before us for you as Borough Council to say, do you want to celebrate our birthday next year? Or you can tell the community you'd rather not celebrate our birthday next year. It's up to you. As a total big community, we can do the smaller events in the name of the borough.
Yeah,
But if you want to do something with your blessing, we need to form and get the word out. That means the council has to send something out to all the churches, the nonprofits, the banks, the businesses, the chamber, and so on, and say, would you be willing to come together?
yeah, but I think that sounds good. And I think,
And
yeah,
the
we'll definitely
county,
take it up next week.
the
And
university.
yeah, I think we'll be in good shape.
Everybody had a role back then.
Right.
Everybody had a role in 49. Everybody had a role in 99, 1899, and so on. So that's how those things go. But that's where we are. And we'll assist, and I'm sure Harb can assist in any way that we can, but we cannot be the leaders. We need a bigger spokesman or spokespeople from the community to be out there, and we'll support them and march with them.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate you doing that. Yeah. Are there any other concerns, questions? Okay. So I think we're good then to move on to 4A, which is to talk about the Up on the Roof resolution. I don't know if Mr. O'Brien, if you want to come up quickly.
John O'Brien, Executive Director, Westchester Business Improvement District. However, tonight I'm representing the Westchester Downtown Foundation. So Saturday, September 16th is the 21st annual Up on the Roof event, which is the main fundraiser for the Westchester Downtown Foundation, which is a 501c3 charity that is dedicated towards supporting local nonprofit efforts in the borough of Westchester, as well as our Clean and Green program. This is a pro forma resolution that council does every year because we also, as part of the event, there is alcohol consumption on borough properties, which is one of the reasons that we need an official resolution passed by borough council. As the resolution stipulates, we will have all the certificates of insurance for all vendors and liability waivers to hold the borough, whether it's for the individual vendor or participants, not liable on anything that might happen. Our track record for 21 years is we haven't had anything that's really occurred. So we're going to be continuing that forward.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Any questions or concerns on this one?
No.
No questions.
Any public questions, concerns? Okay, great. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much. We want to call that one a 3L recommendation.
Yes.
Excellent. Right, and then item 4B is to approve our minutes, which were fine by me. Any issues there?
None.
No issues here.
Any other business tonight? Alrighty, seeing none, we'll go ahead and adjourn at 5:50. Thank you.